There can only be one winner in the December 7 presidential elections. That winner has to be the one Ghana really wants to win. The results that determine who becomes our next president must be true and accurate. To make sure of this, CODEO will be deploying a parallel vote tabulation tool. PVT is a globally trusted election observation tool that uses statistics and technology to verify the accuracy of election results. In the 2008, 2012, and 2016 elections, CODEO used the same tool to accurately verify the official election results. To do this, CODEO trains and deploys 1,500 non-partisan observers to 1,500 nationally representative polling stations across Ghana. They report key findings through coded text messages to our Central Data Collection Center. We use that information to evaluate the quality of the voting process and to confirm whether the official election result announced reflects the votes cast at the polling stations. So on December 7th, vote and check with CODEO for reliable information about the accuracy of the voting process. And later on, after the EC declares the official election results, you can also check with us on its accuracy. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. There can only be one winner in the December 7 presidential elections. That winner has to be the one Ghana really wants to win. The results that determine who becomes our next president must be true and accurate. To make sure of this, CODEO will be deploying a parallel vote tabulation tool. PVT is a globally trusted election observation tool that uses statistics and technology to verify the accuracy of election results. In the 2008, 2012, and 2016 elections, CODEO used the same tool to accurately verify the official election results. To do this, CODEO trains and deploys 1,500 non-partisan observers to 1,500 nationally representative polling stations across Ghana. They report key findings through coded text messages to our Central Data Collection Center. We use that information to evaluate the quality of the voting process and to confirm whether the official election results announced reflects the votes cast at the polling stations. So on December 7th, vote and check with CODEO for reliable information about the accuracy of the voting process. And later on, after the EC declares the official election results, you can also check with us on its accuracy. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. There can only be one winner in the December 7 presidential elections. That winner has to be the one Ghana really wants to win. The results that determine who becomes our next president must be true and accurate. To make sure of this, CODEO will be deploying a parallel vote tabulation tool. PVT is a globally trusted election observation tool that uses statistics and technology to verify the accuracy of election results. In the 2008, 2012, and 2016 elections, CODEO used the same tool to accurately verify the official election results. To do this, CODEO trains and deploys 1,500 non-partisan observers to 1,500 nationally representative polling stations across Ghana. They report key findings through coded text messages to our Central Data Collection Center. We use that information to evaluate the quality of the voting process and to confirm whether the official election result announced reflects the votes cast at the polling stations. So on December 7th, vote and check with CODEO for reliable information about the accuracy of the voting process. And later on, after the EC declares the official election results, you can also check with us on its accuracy. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
to observe Ghanaian elections. Established in the year 2000 under the auspices of the Ghana Center for Democratic Development (CDD) to mobilize citizens of Ghana to actively participate in the electoral process and to complement the efforts of the Electoral Commission of Ghana in ensuring transparent, free, fair, and peaceful elections. In fact, the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers (CODEO) is the largest and most organized domestic election observation network in Ghana. It also has individually observed elections in Ghana since 2000. We're talking about even political party primaries, local government elections, and the general elections as well. The reason why CODEO is extremely important in body politics is because Ghana needed a credible and incompetent non-partisan civic body to observe the conduct of the polls, to complement the work of the Electoral Commission. CODEO was established in response to the demands of the Ghanaian civil society for accountable and responsible governance. And today, what we're going to see is another effort to entrench the credibility of CODEO, which keeps rising every step of the way. So welcome this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and to give us a bit more into why we're here and how things will proceed going forward. If somebody's helping us, we'll have to do that. We can shake and we are excited. The outgoing chair, co-chair of CODEO Advisory Board member, please put it on. Reconstituted CODEO Advisory Board. On behalf of the board and the entire coalition, I would like to express profound gratitude to all of you for making the time out of your very busy schedules to join us in this very important event. First and foremost, I would like to express deep appreciation to CODEO's previous advisory board, particularly the sterling leadership of the past Professor Melinda Greenstreet, my predecessor. In addition, I would like to also commend Reverend Dr. Alfred Debe and Mrs. Elizabeth Joyce Villas, the incoming co-chairs and the members of the advisory board for their unwavering enthusiasm and commitment in supporting CODEO in its mission as they step out to take up this very onerous and new role. The advisory board will volunteer their valuable time, experience, and expertise to further the mission of the coalition in promoting credible elections in the country. Furthermore, I extend gratitude to the 42 strong member organizations of CODEO for their continuous dedication to the promotion of civic engagement and ensuring free and fair elections in Ghana. Permit me at this juncture to briefly say something a bit briefly about CODEO. The Coalition of Domestic Election Observers CODEO is an umbrella body of independent and non-partisan civil society organizations formed in the year 2000 under the auspices of the Ghana Center for Democratic Development, CDD. The coalition was formed in the lead up to the 2000 presidential and parliamentary elections, when it became extremely necessary to mobilize Ghanaian citizens to participate in the electoral process as a confident building mechanism and to promote credible elections in Ghana. From an initial low membership of 22, the coalition over the period has grown to 42 member organizations comprising professional bodies, trade and labor unions, faith-based organizations, and civil society organizations. CODEO's broad objective is to complement the efforts of Ghana's Electoral Commission and indeed all stakeholders in ensuring transparent, free, fair, and peaceful elections in the country. Specifically, the coalition seeks to, among other things, build public confidence in the electoral process, promote free, fair, and transparent elections, prevent electoral fraud, encourage citizen participation in elections, promote issue-based campaigns, enhance the credibility of electoral outcomes. Since its formation, the coalition has successfully observed all presidential and parliamentary elections in Ghana. It has also observed other types of elections, including local government elections, by-elections, and some intra-political party elections. CODEO has contributed to an improved electoral environment by making verbal recommendations for improvements based on its observation experiences over the period. It has also contributed significantly to the deepening citizens' involvement in the electoral process in the country. CODEO has also risen to become Ghana's most authoritative and credible election observer group, which constantly engages in electoral development in the country. Indeed, CODEO has enjoyed the full cooperation and support of key election stakeholders in the country, including the Electoral Commission, National Commission for Civic Education, the media, and the security services. CODEO's key activities have mainly been supported by development partners such as the European Union, the United Kingdom's Department for International Development, and especially the United States Agency for International Development, USAID. It has also received technical support from the Washington, D.C.-based National Democratic Institute, NDI. CODEO has contributed immensely towards enhancing electoral transparency in Ghana by way of offering critical recommendations on electoral management, which emanate from rigorous and objective analysis of the electoral environment. Today, we will be launching CODEO's Reconstituted Advisory Board after a long process which started in 2021. Before then, the previous advisory board had been in transition due to retirement and the eventual passing on to glory of one of our founding co-chairs, and that is VC RSC Club. He passed on and leaving our mom, Professor Grace Street, and she remained joining us until she had to relinquish her position for me to step in as an acting co-chair. And I want to pay glowing tribute to these great stalwarts of our organizations who brought so much credibility. In fact, the primary credibility enjoyed by CODEO emanated from the credibility and the eminence is to great men and women of our country. I would want you to give them a round of applause. It is with deep, great sense of trepidation and worry that we accepted Professor's resignation.
for all those wonderful things that you have done. As part of the process of reconstitution, the outgoing advisory board agreed to a proposition to expand the board from 15 to 25 members to promote inclusion and diversity on the board. The reconstitution is to re-energize the advisory board, and this coincides with the urgent desire of the coalition to advocate for much-needed reforms before the next general elections. As the country prepares to hold the 2023 district-level elections and also the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections, it was imperative on our part to retool the advisory board and make it ready for the task ahead. Yesterday and this morning, the reconstituted board had a retreat to orient themselves in various issues. They included an overview of the international and domestic legal regime for elections, an overview of CODEO, its structures, objectives, guiding principles, program areas, CODEO's observation and flagship parallel voter tabulation methodology, and discussions about pertinent issues regarding the governance of the coalition. It is on this note that the lunch event is being organized to publicly outdoor the newly reconstituted CODEO Advisory Board. In conclusion, I would like once again to express my profound gratitude to all of you present at this event, as well as those who contributed to its success. Together, we are part of an extraordinary organization that promotes electoral integrity, civic engagement, and ultimately the promotion of Ghana's democracy. Though the work we do as observers is challenging and Herculean, its value in saving Ghana's democracy is immeasurable. I therefore implore you to give your utmost support to the new constituted board to steer the affairs of the coalition. I would like to thank the European Union for supporting this activity through its grant to Ghana Center for Democratic Development, and serve also as a secretary, which serves as a secretariat for the coalition. Thank you for the audience.
Please, let's put a nice weather for Dr. Shadow. I brought co-chair, the Domestic Election Observers, CODEO Advisory Board members. Thank you. Thank you very much. And also want to acknowledge the current sponsorship of the European Union for CODEO. So please, let's put our hands together for the EU for their support as well. Thank you very much. I implore all of us to kindly follow the social media handles of the Commission of Domestic Election Observers, CODEO, for the updates and also every information that comes through. So please make some time, go on Twitter now if you can, in which I ask that you should, and look out for CODEO elections, CODEO elections, CODEO liver space elections. And on Facebook is Commission of Domestic Election Observers /CODEO. So please make some time, go on to Facebook and Twitter and follow the pages and handles of the Commission of Domestic Election Observers. Thank you very much. We'll go for some good word messages. I'll be acknowledging a few persons who have joined us as we go on. But standing in our protocols as observed earlier, if we would have Mrs. Jane Wilson, Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, she here? No. Any representatives from the Electoral Commission to give us a goodwill message? We'll wait for that. Any representative of the European Union, EU? Okay. Any representative from the National Commission for Civic Education, NCCE? Yes. Please come and give a good word. You just say something, Let's put a for him. Let's motivate him with a round of applause. The words will come. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. You say I should say something. See something, say something is the new slogan for the national security. I would like to stand on the protocols that have been established already to make some few comments in solidarity with the new board that is going to be inaugurated. For us at National Commission for Civic Education, we've been key partners to CODEO in terms of carrying out voter and citizenship education. We've been partners for this long time, and on behalf of the Commission, I would like to assure the new board that our structures across the country, national headquarters, regional offices, district offices, and then staff are still at the disposal of CODEO wherever the need arises for us to hold any task that is geared towards entrenching and consolidating our democracy. As we go into next year, 2024, an election year, an election that is going to usher us into the next, we've done 25 years. We are doing 25 years of the millennium, and this election will usher us into the next 25 years, a quarter of a century, which becomes very significant. And as we all are aware, there are areas that we need to strengthen. How we can really bring our citizens to participate in the democratic process beyond elections. These are very critical issues that at NCC would like to partner and deepen the partnership with CODEO to entrench citizens' participation in the democratic process as we go forward. Once again, on the behalf of the Commission, I would like to congratulate the new board and also wish farewell to the member leaving the board at the moment. Thank you very much.
Please, Dr. Mohammed, I know you, but you mention your name just so we know that you.
My name is Simran Mohammed. I'm the Director for Programs at the National Commission for Civic Education.
Now we know. Please put your hands together for Dr. Mohammed. Thank you very much. I want to acknowledge the presence of the Ghanaian ambassador to Ghana, Zanzi Tom Naring. Please, let's put our hands together. Thank you very much. Also, Mr. Emmanuel Mensah Akman, Deputy Director, USAID. Thank you very much. Thank you. Next on our goodwill messages list, the political parties representatives. The only person I see here is Mr. Peter McMahon, the former national chairman of the NPP. Yes, so please put your hands together for Mr. McMahon. Thank you.
Good afternoon. And I also stand on the existing protocol. CODEO is reconstituting its board from 15 to 25, we are told. The new patriotic party has followed the duties and the workings of CODEO from time immemorial, that is from 2000. And we have always believed that elections must be conducted in a peaceful, credible manner, in an impartial and electoral management body must be independent as possible. But when we have all these, we need people and agencies and civil society organizations like CODEO to monitor the actual performances and report thereon. And we take the reports that CODEO produce at each election very seriously. They bind us together in peace because they are able to look at what went wrong, point it out, to enable corrections to be done. And I must say that in this country, and I even dare say in West Africa, if you mention domestic election observation, the first name that comes is CODEO. And I must take this opportunity on behalf of the New Patriotic Party to congratulate you for the good job done. It is our firm belief that the late VC RAC and Professor Miranda Greenstreet, who led the advisory board and are handing over to new people, the new advisory board will continue in the same spirit and perhaps enhance what they have done already. Their shoes are big, I know, as far as domestic observations are concerned, but I'm also aware, and the New Patriotic Party is aware, that they take those who are taking over, Reverend Debe and my own Mrs. Villas, whom I have worked with at the Association of Ghana Industries, are capable of wearing the shoes, however big it is. The New Patriotic Party believes also that impartiality, independence of the Electoral Commission and its working must be viewed from an observer's point of view. And the CODEO's observation and the outcome give credibility internationally to the elections. So for us, on the New Patriotic Party, we have confidence with CODEO, and the confidence that we have over the years, we believe the new board will continue in that direction and bring the peace that Ghana and West Africa needs. So on this occasion of the reconstitution of an enhanced advisory board, we wish the new board congratulations and the best in this new endeavor. Some of them are in already, and also wish the outgoing the best in their newfound areas of occupation. We thank you for inviting us, and we remain committed to the workings of CODEO at any time. The New Patriotic Party.
Thank you very much. Also, we have the Director of Programs at the Ghana Integrity Initiative, the local chapter of Transparency International, Madame Nariada. Please, let's put our hands together for her. Thank you. Next, to give a goodwill message to CODEO, is a Senior Research Fellow at the Institute for Democratic Governance, IDEC, Mr. Kwesi Jonah. Please, let's put our hands together for him. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, they say that if you see something, you should say something. But in a democracy, even if you don't see anything at all, you should say something. My name is Kwesi Jonah, and I work with the Institute for Democratic Governance. Those of us who think tanks, CSOs in the governance space, we appreciate so very much the kind of work CODEO has been doing over the years. People have come to associate CODEO with election observation. They are doing excellent work there, especially the parallel vote tabulation. But those of us who operate within that space, we know that even in between elections, CODEO is constantly monitoring the governance space and passing very critical comments when necessary. It is therefore with a sense of appreciation that we welcome the new board into office. They are constituting the board at a very crucial time, 2023, just a few, 1.5 years or so before the next election. It means CODEO is strengthening itself to face the next election. They want to expand. They do not only increase the diversity of the governance, the governing board, but also to prepare themselves to work very hard to oversee an upcoming election, which is not going to be a very easy one. So the Institute for Democratic Governance and the Civic Forum Initiative, we want to congratulate the members of the new board, and we want to assure you that we are always ready to be of help when you need us. Once again, congratulations and welcome to a very difficult area. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, to a very difficult area indeed, but very well capable people who are going to take up the mantle as well. Thank you so much. I also want to acknowledge the presence of Mr. Fred Papo, a representative of the Norway Embassy. Yes, please, let's put our hands together for him. Also, Madame Grace Lee, the political counselor for the Canadian High Commission. Please, let's put our hands together. Thank you. I understand that Madame Mariada would also just share a few words as we see something and we are saying something just to encourage CODEO and the work that they are on, and also here to. Please, let's put our hands together for Madame Mariada. Thank you very much.
Permits me to also stand on existing protocols to say, well done, Aiku, congratulations to the Reconstituted board, and to also say a big Aiku to those who have been holding the fort, doing a great job, traversing this country, and even internationally, to ensure that we have fair, credible elections in this country. I have been part of this process for some time, and I know it is a difficult job. The issues around the bashing we get from the media, and sometimes the difficulties of staying overnight, it's not an easy thing to do at all. And so we really appreciate you. We wish those who are going to rest a good rest, but then we hope that those who are taking over would do greater exploits even as we go on. I have the view that we should look at things from a half glass full point of view. And so whether we anticipate from the data that things are going to look, they don't look too good, but then from a mindset that things will be well, I hope that Ghana would be the better for it and we will do great things together. Thank you very much for having us. We say thank you to CDD for doing this work all this while, and to CODEO from the Ghana Integrity Initiative. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madame Mariada of the Ghana Integrity Initiative. Thank you. Really appreciate these words. And for journalists who are here, who cover elections, we can also attest to the work of the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers, CODEO, and in areas where even media houses don't have the resources and the reach, CODEO is there to make sure that they also police the process to instill some level of integrity. The recent by-elections in the Assin North constituency, my colleagues who were there throughout the night were with CODEO. In fact, Dr. Kojo Asante and also Zalbert Hein were all in Assin North as well. And when the young men were dozing off, they were still alive. And yeah, so good job, really. At least we, the media, can say that. Let's put our hands together for the CODEO again. Thank you very much. We're going to be handing over to the new co-chairs. Here's what we do. The outgoing co-chairs will please rise. Let's put our hands together for them as they do. And then the incoming co-chairs would kindly also rise and join the outgoing co-chair. Please, let's put our hands together for the incoming co-chairs, Mrs. Elizabeth Joyce Villas and Reverend Dr. Fred Debe. Please, let's put our hands together for them. So we have the brief profile of the two co-chairs, the incoming co-chairs. On the screen, Mrs. Elizabeth Joyce Villas, the former director of the Institute for Adult Education, now the Institute of Continuing and Distant Education, University of Ghana, Legon, a former member of the Civil Society Coalition on National Reconciliation in Ghana, recipient of the National Arts and Culture Award, marketing woman. Hey, forgive me. Mrs. Elizabeth Joyce Villas, co-chair, Coalition of Domestic Election Observers, CODEO, and also the founder and board chairperson of the Ghana Limited, former CEO of the same company, and former head computer department of the Volta River Authority, and also the founder of West Africa Data Service Bureau Limited, and the former steering committee chairperson, BOSAC Fund, former president, the Association of Ghana Industries, former president, Private Enterprise Foundation, now called the Private Enterprise Federation, and then also the recipient of the Volta Award, Companion Division 2006. Reverend Dr. Fred Debe, co-chair, incoming co-chair of the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers, CODEO Advisory Board, the Reverend Minister of the Ghana Baptist Convention, also a private legal practitioner, former president of the Ghana Baptist Convention, former General Secretary, Christian Council of Ghana, former board member, the Ghana AIDS Commission, former board member, Ghana Anti-Corruption Coalition, and former board member, the National Media Commission, former board member, Narcotics Control Board, North Commission, and then also the former lecturer at the Ghana Baptist Seminary. Ladies and gentlemen, please, our new incoming co-chairs, let's put our hands together for them. So we'll have the handing over ceremony now. So Shegari Asabo, yes, double handing over, yes.
Yeah, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished members of the CODEO Advisory Board, those who have just joined us and those who have already been with us. Today is a great day in the history of our organization. We've gone through a long period of transition, now in preparing ourselves to take on the onerous duty of observing the elections 2024 and other elections. It is my greatest pleasure, the outgoing acting chairman of CODEO, to hand over today today's two wonderful people whose dignity and experience I appreciate so much, and they bring a lot on board. Reverend Minister here, Reverend Dr. Degbe and Auntie Villas are all people who have good standing in our community, and I'm sure that they will be able to lead us together for us to go through such a successful process of election observation this year. Congratulations and thank you. Now let me hand over. I will do the double thing.
Please, let's put our hands together. Congratulations. Let's put our hands together. Let's keep clapping until the handing over ceremony is done. Congratulations. Mrs. Elizabeth Jones-Villas, congratulations, Reverend Dr. Fedebe. Thank you very much. So, in fact, a few words from the now co-chairs, both. So, ladies first, Reverend Dr. Fedebe, thank you. Thank you very much.
Outgoing chair of CODEO, Sheikh Amiriao Shaibu, the founding and longest serving member and co-chair of CODEO, Professor Miranda Greenstreet, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission of Ghana, Mrs. Jane Mensah, or her representative, the chairperson of the National Commission for Civic Education, Madame Kathleen Ade, representative of the European Union, representative of the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, diplomatic missions and development partners, CODEO advisory board members and General Assembly members, political party representatives, media, ladies and gentlemen. We are grateful for your participation in the launch of CODEO's new advisory board. Since its inception in 2000, CODEO has dedicated itself to ensuring transparent, free, fair, and peaceful elections in Ghana. As part of its mission, CODEO has observed every single election in Ghana, from presidential elections to parliamentary elections to district elections and many more. CODEO has contributed to an improved electoral environment by independently and objectively observing our polls and contributing significantly in deepening citizen participation in electoral processes. It has continuously expanded its scope and activities, including providing support for election observers in countries across Africa. The importance of CODEO cannot be overstated in bringing transparency to electoral process and inspiring public confidence in the outcomes. The presence of election observers at polling stations during elections poses a significant deterrent effect against attempts by malicious actors to manipulate results by exposing potential malpractices, which is critical in promoting accountability and contributing to the electoral credibility. CODEO will not renege in its mandate and will explore all opportunities to continue to fulfill its commitment to the people of Ghana. We are honored to have been given the nod by members of the board to serve as co-chairs in leading the coalition in its next chapter. We recognize the invaluable work that CODEO has done over the past 2 decades, and we hope to continue this legacy in the upcoming years. On the back of this, we would like to express appreciation to Professor Miranda Greenstreet, the founding chair and longest serving member of the board, for her meritorious voluntary service in leading and building a solid foundation and integrity for the coalition since its inception. Sheikh Amiriao Shaibu took the reins of leadership as the acting co-chair in 2019, when the leadership of the coalition was transitioning following the demise in the preceding year of our beloved co-chair, Justice B.C. R.A.C. Crab. His remarkable leadership of the coalition is acknowledged along with each member of the ESWAL Advisory Board who labored through all the emerging challenges to ensure the development of the coalition. We want to acknowledge the outgoing board members and commend their valuable experience, expertise, and dedication as the driving force towards the collective mission of the coalition. We also want to give a special welcome to the new entrants who are represented on the board in their individual capacities. We have Nana Asantua Afijinu, Professor Techua Menu, Madam Gifty Florence Enin, and we look forward to collaborating with you and benefiting from your fresh ideas, and we thank you for your commitment to the important work of CODEO. We also want to acknowledge the Advisory Board's newest member organizations and their representatives. They are Apostle Emmanuel Tete of Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council, Alhaji Ahmed Suleiman Anderson of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission, Dr. Mazouk Abubakar Azendo, Office of the National Chief Imam, Mr. Edmond Akwe, Civil and Local Government Staff Associations of Ghana. We have Mrs. Perpetua Oforian Pafu of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, Madam Joyce Nyami of the Youth Bridge Foundation, Madam Hamida Harrison of Abantu for Development, and Mr. Albert Kwabena Jumfo, Ghana Journalists Association. It should be noted that these organizations have all been long-standing members of the coalition. For the rest of the job and the expectations of the incoming board, I'll ask my co-chair to continue from here.
Thank you, co-chair. Ladies and gentlemen, it is obvious that we have our job cut out already for us, and we hope to contribute our quota to the continuing job of ensuring a free, fair, peaceful outcome to every election in Ghana. We know in the horizon is supposed to be the district level elections. Even more crucial is Ghana's 9th consecutive election in the Fourth Republic, the December 7, 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections. Of course, the work of CODEO did not end in 2000, when CODEO recruited, trained, and deployed thousands of observers to monitor Ghana's presidential election and presidential runoff. The work of CODEO did not end in 2001, when Ghana witnessed its first peaceful transfer of power by the ballot box. The work of CODEO did not end in 2012, when the presidential election results were challenged in the Supreme Court of Ghana. The work of CODEO did not end in 2020, when the country witnessed troubling incidents of election day violence. With all that being said, the work of CODEO will not end in 2014. We admit that there is more work to be done. However, we are grateful to the tireless dedication of the coalition, our members, who will look forward to working with us and the population towards improving the atmosphere of domestic election. During our term as co-chairs, we hope to set up CODEO for the long-term success. We commit to leading the board in engaging key stakeholders and strongly advocating for continuous reforms that will strengthen our electoral system. We are particularly committed to pressing for consequential actions to be taken on some of the flaws and gaps in our electoral processes that have already been tabled before the Electoral Commission and other election and democracy stakeholders for redress. For example, and I'll give this 6. 1. The Electoral Commission of Ghana establishing a clear legal and administrative procedure for handling irregularities by polling and collation officials during public election. 2. The Electoral Commission providing timely and transparent process for the publication of detailed polling station and collation center that's at all levels, the results of the Electoral Commission's website ahead of the declaration of the results of the presidential election. 3. That the Judicial Service of Ghana work towards amending the rules of court procedures to provide a shorter timeline for adjudicating parliamentary election petitions at the High Court and other superior courts of adjudicature to promote peaceful election and credibility of the results. Fourth, that Parliament should pass the affirmative action law that prescribes at least 30% quota for women in governance and decision-making positions, with a progressive increase to 50% and quotas provided by political parties for women aspirants and candidates. And that the Ghana Police Service to strictly enforce the provisions of the Vigilantism and Related Offences Act 2019, Act 999, to curb the threat of political vigilante activities. Six, we listed our call to the Inspector General of Police to give timely and regular updates on the electoral-related violence cases, including the 8 unfortunate deaths that were recorded during the 2020 elections. Last but not least, electoral stakeholders to work to curb the menacing influence of vote buying and abuse of incumbency, which is significantly increasing the cost of politics and threatens to undermine our young democracy. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank all of you for joining us today and call on the public to support in helping the coalition to continue its work as an independent and non-partisan observer group who are interested in credible and peaceful elections that will propel Ghana's stability and democratic ideals. Long live CODEO, long live Ghana, God bless our homeland, Ghana. And thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The co-chairs of the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers would have a brief profile of the advisory board members as well. So I'll just read through it briefly. They'll be scrolling on the screen as we have it behind me. Professor Emmanuel Jima-Bwedi is a member of the advisory board, co-founder and current board chair, the Afrobarometer Network, co-founder and former executive director of the CDD-Ghana, also former professor, Department of Political Science, University of Ghana. Also a member of the CODEO Advisory Board, is the president of the National Association of Graduate Teachers, NAGRAT. He is a teacher as well at the St. Mary's Senior High School. Mr. Kofi Bentum Kwangson is also a member of the Advisory Board of CODEO, former Director, Special Branch of the Ghana Police Service, former Director of the Bureau of National Investigations, BNI, now NIB, former Executive Secretary, Narcotics Control Commission, former National Security Coordinator, and he's an author and publisher as well. Ms. Daphne Lariba Nabila is also a member of the CODEO Advisory Board, Executive Director of the Legal Resources Center, Consultant for the African Union Commission, International Organization for Migration, Amnesty International, Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection. It's also research and advisory services for Integrated Water and Agriculture Development, IWAD, and then also Prime Attorneys Ghana Coalition of NGOs in Health, and she's also an author and publisher and a private legal practitioner. Sheikh Aremiao Shaibo is also a member of the advisory board, so he's not going away. Even though he's handed over, he's still on the board. The former acting co-chair, CODEO, as he has handed over now, former regional manager, Greater Accra Islamic Education Unit of the Ghana Education Service, also a board member of the National Peace Council. Board is also a member of the Civil Society Coalition on National Reconciliation, Executive Council member of the Coalition of Muslim Organizations, COMOG, and a member of the Advisory Board of the National Chief Imam. And he is, as we widely know him, as a spokesperson of the National Chief Imam. Mr. Frank Beecham is also a member of the Advisory Board. He's a former board chair of Access Bank, former president of the Ghana Bar Association, and the board chairman, Coronation Insurance Ghana Limited. He's a former general manager, Merchant Bank Ghana Limited. He's a partner, Bram Labi, Beecham & Co. It's a law firm. Miss Philippa Larson is also a member of the CODEO Advisory Board, former head teacher of Bodia CDD-Ghana Basic B School. She's former president of the Ghana National Association of Teachers, NAT, a Get Fund board member, board chairperson of OSAC's Microfinance Company. Mr. Albert Jumfo, our own president, he is also a member of the CODEO Advisory Board, president of the Ghana Journalists Association, managing director at Tinka Media Village. He's also a media consultant. Mr. Alex Bankole Williams, also a board member of the Advisory Board of CODEO, Africa's representative on the Global Subcommittee, International Blind Sports Association, IBSA, National Sports Coordinator, Ghana Blind Union, the coordinator of the Assistive Technology Unit of the University of Ghana Computing Systems, former project officer on elections, employment and legislation review, the Ghana Federation of the Disabled. Reverend Dr. Cyril Fayosi is also a member of the Advisory Board, senior clergy person, Evangelical Presby Church, Ghana, General Secretary of the Christian Council of Ghana, former president of the Evangelical Presbyterian University College, former president, Trinity Theological Seminary in Legon, Accra, former board member, National Accreditation Board. Ms. Joyce Nyame, also an advisory board member, programs manager, Youth Braid Foundation, former project coordinator, Network for Women's Rights in Ghana, and programs assistant, Women's Rights Organization. Mrs. Hamida Harrison, also a member of the advisory board. She's the convener of the Women's Manifesto Coalition, Sustainability Manager, Abantu for Development. Mr. Edmond Akwe is a member of the advisory board, Public Relations Director, CLOCSAC, that's the Civil and Local Government Staff Association of Ghana, and also former project coordinator, Commonwealth Human Rights Initiative, and the former community business development advisor, TechnoServe. Alhaj Ahmed Suleiman Anderson, also an advisory board member, serves as the Naib Amir III, that's the deputy head of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission Ghana. He's a member of the Public Interest and Accountability Committee, PIAC, former honorary regional manager, Ahmadiyya Muslim Education Unit in the Western Region, also former honorary General Secretary of Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission, former accounts manager of Van Landerik Incorporated Limited. Dr. Mazouk Abubakar Azendo is also a member of the advisory board, personal assistant to His Eminence, the National Chief Imam, lecturer at the University of Applied Management, Ghana, a member governing board of the Ghana Education Trust Fund, as a Get Fund, also an author and a researcher. We have Apostle Emmanuel Tete, an advisory board member, General Secretary of the Ghana Pentecostal and Christian Charismatic Council, GPCCC. He's a Director of Administration, the Apostolic Church Ghana, General Headquarters, also Development Planning and Institutional and Organization Development Consultant. Miss Gifty Florence Enimboje, an advisory board member. Understand, Madam Gifty Florence Enimboje is on Zoom. She's on Zoom with us. Yeah. She there. Can you put her on the screen? Yeah, she's connected on Zoom. Commissioner of the Police retired, personnel, and also former diplomat, first female commandant of the Ghana Police College, first female director, Criminal Investigation Department of the Ghana Police Service, former Director General of the Police Education Unit, former Director General of the Human Resources, Training and Welfare of the Ghana Police Service, former head of the Passports and Immigration Section, Ghana High Commission in the United Kingdom and Ireland, former Director, Domestic Violence and Victim Support Unit, and chairperson of the National Association of Retired Police Officers, NAPO GH. Professor Tichiwa Menu is an advisory board member, fellow Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences, Emerita Professor, Africa Studies at the University of Ghana, former Director, Social Development Policy Division of the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, and former Director, Institute of African Studies, University of Ghana, Lagos. Nana Asantewa Afajino is a member of the Advisory Board, Executive Director, West Africa Civil Society Institute, served on the board of AFDB CSO Committee, the International Society for Third Sector Research, Yali, West Africa, and Star Ghana Foundation, a trustee of Oxfam, a board member of the Resource Alliance, member of an advisory council of the SDG Philanthropy Forum in Ghana. We have Mrs. Perpetual Oforiampofo, President of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Adom TV. President of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, Chairperson, West African Health Sector Unions Network of Public Services International, Chairperson, Ghana PSI National Coordinating Council, Foundation Fellow, Ghana College of Nurses and Midwives, also a member of the Ghana College of Nurses and Midwives Governing Board. Professor H. Kwesi Prempeh is a member of the Advisory Board, Executive Director of the Ghana Center for Democratic Development, CDD, is a lawyer and former lecturer, and then also a former constitutional advisor to the United Nations Special Envoy to Yemen. Ambassador Francis Chega, member CODEO Advisory Board, senior fellow Ghana Center for Democratic Development, CDD, former Ghana ambassador to Spain. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's put our hands together for the Advisory Board members. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's now time for some questions and Q&As. If those of you, at least who've had an idea of the work of CODEO and especially what they've done over the period to contribute to the transparency of our local elections and complementing the work of the Electoral Commission. Any questions? Questions? Someone was talking about the work of CODEO, especially with what we saw in the by-elections. I mean, Eric Marina was there, so eventually I'll pass on the microphone to him, and I'm sure some other people who know about the work of CODEO. How do you also take, especially the divergent views about some of the reports that you put out? Because the political parties have their own view about sometimes, for instance, your conclusion about their work or what they do in an election. We've seen some of them raise questions about why you would describe their electoral strategy as interference or an attempt to sabotage the work of the Electoral Commission. So how do you come to those conclusions? Well, maybe this one, Dr. Kujazante, or Ms. Ayn. Yes. So you note it down. Any more? Mana, yes. There's a microphone, I suppose. Can you please help me with that? Kindly, yes.
Many thanks. My name is Mawina with TV3, and so when Reverend Dr. Digby outlined some of the key things to which they'll be looking forward to in working towards elections 2024, he mentioned quite a number of things. I was just interested in perhaps one more area which has not come up, which has to do with the seeming relationship between the Electoral Commission, which is the governing body, and then the largest opposition party, particularly on matters in relation to IPAC. We know, particularly for those of us who monitor elections, as one critical area where deliberations go on and the critical reforms you mentioned is agreed upon by all parties, with the largest opposition party not seeming to want to go back. I believe that will fall within your remit as well, and perhaps what it is that you can do to contribute to resolving what some have described as a political tension. Thank you.
Okay. So this one is to Reverend Dr. Fediebe. And Dr. Asante, you stand by for the next answer as well. Thank you.
Okay to go. Yes. Some of these things are, well, let me say, the work of the EC or the work of election are things and regulations created by law. And there are some other institutions that are created as a working mechanism that makes election free, fair, credible. So when you are traversing those paths, you do shadow diplomacy of things which are necessary for to be peace and harmony. Because of our track record of trying to ensure that these things work out for because every political party, as we know it, wants us to have an election that is free, fair, and credible, so that when they come into power, the government will be. It is on this premise that we are here as CODEO to ensure that that is made possible. So if we have to go behind the scene and talk to parties about how they can work together, even if it is an arrangement, it's not tactically by law, but it seems to be a forum that can be used in working. And there are many such formal relationships to make. Who by means go for it. Because we have not initiated anything, and because we are still standing on the ground, particularly new, I cannot disclose anything as such. But what I would say is that whatever it takes to talk to the political parties and the EC to work together, we will try our best so that Ghana will work for all.
Thank you very much. Doc.
I'm not sure I got the question.
I know.
You were saying that somebody says we are taking their job.
No. So there's a bit about the conclusion on some of the reports, the details of the report about the work of the political parties during an election. For instance, they say that is their strategy they employ. You say it's interference. How do you come to those?
I don't want anybody to think I'm a TV3 reporter. So I think for all of us, elections are about rules. All the parties are supposed to comply with the rules of elections, credible elections. So often, I think what we have done is that we have neglected a lot of those aspects of elections, and then focus so much on the election day. But then after the fact, then we start complaining that all of these things are happening before. So I think if we want to have credible elections, we have to also pay attention to a lot of those rights, like fair competition. And when we say fair competition, then you have to care about the ability of incumbency. if you want to talk about integrity in elections, then you have to care about vote buying. And parties are prepared to just ignore that and say, oh, that's what the people want, and therefore, we are going to give them the money. And then you give them the money, and then we know that you're already starting from a corrupt position. You get into government, it means that you are going to get yourself involved in corruption, and then we all lose out. So I think increasingly, and CODEO is looking at this very, that if we are going to sustain our democracy, we need to care about not just on election day, but all the things that we do before elections to make elections more credible.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sante. There's a question at the back. I had seen your hand. Hopefully take the last 2 or 3, and we're done. Okay. Kindly mention your name and the institution you're affiliated to. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Pekulati Obin. I'm with the German Development Corporation, GIZ. I have 2 very short questions. Number 1, why the expansion to the number 25? Because we were on 50 and now 25. So that's my first question. My second question is how are CODEO preparing for the district level elections coming on by the end of the year? Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. If there's any other, I'll just take it so we get the responses all in one. Do you want to? No? Okay. Yes. Where's the microphone?
So my name is Joseph Wemako. I'm with the Human Rights Reporters Ghana, and I also report on other online platforms. I myself, I have been a member of, I have partaken in the observation for about 3 consecutive times, so I know how difficult the job is. Congratulations to the new board. I just want to find out what new are you bringing? What is that new thing you are bringing on board to ensure that the 2024 elections will be the brightest? Thank you.
Wow, this sounds like an interview question. What are you bringing on board? So this one, who was that? Wow. Okay. So there are 2 questions directed to the expansion to 25. Dr. Sante, you answer that. Okay, great. And then the second question from you was preparation for the district level elections. That one too. Could you, Dr. Sante? Yes.
So for the expansion to 25, some of the criteria for appointing people or electing people onto the board includes the following. So we have organizations who give us our observers on election day. So a lot of the teacher associations, for example, that's where we get a lot of our observers. PLOSA, we get observers from there. So a lot of the large membership-based organizations that give us observers are represented on the board, and they have been for many, many years. But we were missing certain categories or classes or groups that would represent society more. So we didn't have, for example, a youth-focused organization, for instance. And knowing the demographics, if you've been watching elections or even generally the population, the last elections, 55% of voters were between 18 and 35. So we're getting, younger. It's a much younger generation, and the issues of youth is very, very important. Currently since 2020, we have not registered young people who turned 18. So if you look at the estimates, it's almost about 2.8 or 3 million people who will be eligible to be voted, and we've had by-elections where those people couldn't vote. So we do need groups that are working with young people so that CODEO is informed about their issues. We didn't have a gender-focused group as well. So now we have that. The media association was not represented. So we've done to make sure, even their media, so because we have religious groups, we want to make sure that all the different major religions are represented. So that's what has led to the expansion. Now, the other thing is that we have members who represented their organizations, but they have been such a value to CODEO over the years. It would be a shame, to let them go with all their expertise and training. So we have about 10 independent members now. Some of them have come from, and then we've brought in also more women and younger people as well to complement what we've had. So this is what has led to the expanded 25. It gives us more diversity, more insight into the needs of society, so that our elections observation activities can be more credible and accepted by all. On the district level elections, I'm so glad that it's coming from a donor, because we need money to do the district elections observation. We are still waiting for the Electoral Commission to let us know whether or not it is coming off in October. We haven't gotten an electoral calendar yet. But from CODEO, we are still trying to solicit for support to observe the elections. So if somebody is moved, by the Spirit, please see me after.
Thank you. So GIZ, over to you. More money. The last question. What are you bringing on board? Who would answer this? Reverend Dr. Fedegbe. Yes, the co-chair will answer.
I'm just consulting some of the security experts on the...
Absolutely. I saw that. I saw Mr. Dr. Johnson.
You saw us.
Yes.
We are bringing on board a lot of experience and credibility to ensure that we deepen our democracy with free, fair, credible election. I think, like you said, we've been on the ground for decades. We are not taking it for granted, because every election, we always say the next one will be better. The next one proves to be more challenging. So we are not resting on our oars. Getting more people on board, more youthful people, more engagement like this, calling on all of us to ensure that we have a free, credible election. And working with a team that has a track record is what we bring on board. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, let's put our hands together for them and all who answered the questions. Thank you. We also have Mr. Kokobing. He just asked the question, correct? Yes. He's a component manager with GIZ. Also, Selena Yao Kopong, representative of Amnesty International. Please give us a wave. Where are you? Great, there you are. Thank you. Mr. Roland Johnson, German Embassy. Okay. Alexander Compson, National Peace Council rep. Yes, please, let's put our hands together for him as well. Thank you very much. We are at the point where we believe that recognition and appreciation is extremely important in the work of the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers, CODEO. One person who has dedicated much of her life to ensuring that CODEO contributes to deepening the credibility of our local elections. She has led this organization as a co-chair for a long time, and we want to recognize her contributions and her efforts as a former co-chair of the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers, CODEO Advisory Board. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Dr. Kojo Asante, who would also present the plaque and a recognition gift to Professor Miranda Greenstitch. Let's put our hands together for Dr. Kojo Asante.
Thank you very much. I think Prof can sit. Maybe for the pictures, Prof should sit, I will come. Okay, so first of all, we have a plaque. We have a plaque here that says honoring a patriot and a practitioner of election integrity and peace in Africa, Professor Miranda Greenstreet, in recognition of your sterling leadership on web. Aiko Professor. This is July 19th, 2023.
Oh, no, you can see it. Thank you very much. We have to do another plan for that.
And then also, so we thought that we'll give you something that you can put in your home. This is a woman, it's obviously a Ghanaian woman, draped in a map of Ghana, looking elegant. And it's just something to remember us by. When you look at it, you remember us for all those years of dedicated service and all the encouragement you have given to us. I mean, we have learned so much from you, and you have kept us going. So, just to say thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. And a small gift voucher. That's why when you get home, then you can open it. Thank you very much, Prof. We appreciate all that you have done all over the years. We really appreciate it. Thank you. I don't know if you... oh, you can sit down, Prof.
I feel so guilty. Has permitted me to retire voluntarily. My only words for CDD is to really thank and appreciate Professor Jima Bwedi for starting CDD and CODEO. It is the biggest election observer team in the whole of Africa. And they really need to be given an award, an international award. But because I have been serving on the International Center for Parliamentary Studies, which monitors election worldwide, I couldn't recommend CODEO because I'm part of it and I don't believe in corruption. So I thank God and I thank all of you. My prayer will continue to work for the good of Ghana and for us to have democratic governance in this dear country of ours, and for all of us to appreciate each other, to endure each other, to respect each other, to love each other, and to work for the good of humanity. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Putting us together, Professor Miranda Greenstreet, 22 years of service. Please put your hands together. Let's appreciate and acknowledge her work and contribution to the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers. Thank you so much, Professor Miranda Greenstreet. That's right. Thank you. Wonderful. Please, let's put our hands together. Appreciate it. Great. We will take the closing remarks now. All too soon, we've come to the end of this all-important engagement. The co-chair would give us the closing remarks while we round up. Yes. Either of you. Microphone.
advisory board who have learned the incoming board who have learned so much about what their predecessors had done in the past. I'm happy we've all had a good time today listening to CODEO, what CODEO has been able to do over the years. And it is the expectation of every Ghanaian that CODEO grows from strength to strength for the betterment of good governance in Ghana, so that we can all be proud to be Ghanaians and we'll be proud to stay in our country. This evening program is an eye-opener for those who haven't heard much about CODEO. For those who hear CODEO is there to work on a different platform or have different agenda, at least you've heard it all. What we are here to do, the mission of CODEO, members of CODEO, the technical staff, and what CODEO stands for. So it is your responsibility to also make this known to those who are not too conversant with what CODEO does. We hope you all pray for CODEO and wish CODEO to do the best so that our country will grow from strength to strength. And on behalf of my co-chairman, the advisory board members, we say a big thank you to all of you for this evening program. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. On that note, I'll say thank you so much, and I'll reiterate, please go on to the social media, Facebook and Twitter, and follow the CODEO elections body. That's the page on Twitter is at CODEO elections, at CODEO elections. And then on Facebook is Coalition of Domestic Election Observers, CODEO, Facebook, Twitter. And also want to thank the European Union for the kind sponsorship and support for the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers. Thank you very much. Okay, so I understand the 2019 and the 2020 reports of CODEO are all available, so you can pick them up as well. I'll kindly ask that the co-chairs and the advisory board members please kindly line up here. I want to take pictures, and then also those of us here in present, please don't be in a hurry to leave. We will need you in the pictures as well. So thank you so much for coming. On behalf of the newly appointed co-chairs and members of the advisory board of CODEO, thank you so much. Do enjoy the rest of the afternoon. We appreciate your time. Thank you. So we take the photographs now. Thank you very much.